Hello and welcome to episode number 32 of Zach's Tech Talk Tuesday. My name is Ryan McQueeney, and on this week's show, we will be discussing popular tech growth pick Micron Technology and debating whether the stock, which just saw its most bullish analyst call to date, is worthy of its current valuation. For those that don't know, Micron is one of the world's leading providers of advanced semiconductor memory solutions. Through its worldwide operations, Micron manufactures and markets primarily DRAM memory, DRAM, and NAND, NAND flash memory. It stands as a key industry leader and bellwether in both of those markets. And most recently, Micron has emerged as one of Wall Street's hottest stocks over the past 2 years, having gained more than 400% in that time. And in what has been a rocky start to 2008 for many trendy tech companies, the chipmaker has already added another 33% climb to its monumental surge, and that was just heading into the week. On Monday, Micron added even more to those gains when analyst firm Nomura raised its 12-month price target for the memory chipmaker to $100 per share from $55. That call represents about an 83% upside to Micron's Friday close and marks the highest price target out of the 26 research firms that cover the company, according to FactSet. Nomura's Romit Shah, one of the analysts on the note, said, "We see DRAM pricing resuming an upward trend in Q2, a first-time dividend and share buyback announcement in May, continued margin expansion in NAND, and increased M&A discussion as important catalysts," end quote. So there's a couple things to touch on here. First, the announcement in May is expected to come during an official company investor day, which was just recently officially announced. But Nomura is assuming here that there is going to be a dividend and buyback announcement, and if that would be if that does happen as the firm expects, it would be the first major capital return program ever implemented by Micron, which should only increase investor satisfaction, especially in the near term. The analyst note also mentioned that memory prices have only slumped about 3% year to date, which compares favorably to the 10 to 20% seasonal decline that the market has seen over the past 3 years. The firm also predicted that prices will increase by about 10% over the next 6 months. Finally, that margin expansion that Nomura mentioned has really been the key for Micron. Revenues have been gaining significantly, but earnings growth has been absolutely insane, and that expansion trend is expected to continue in the near term. In fact, our latest Zach's consensus estimates are calling for EPS growth of 113% and revenue growth of 41% in the current fiscal year. Nomura's bullish sentiment is part of a broader trend of analysts becoming more optimistic about the stock. Within the past 60 days, we have seen 8 revisions with 100% agreement to the upside for Micron's full-year earnings estimates. The Zach's consensus estimate has moved 74 cents higher over that time frame. Meanwhile, MU is trading with relatively attractive value metrics. The stock has a PE of just 5.3 and a price-to-sales ratio of just 2.8, and its PEG, price-to-earnings growth ratio, comes in at just 0.5. That actually is so low that a lot of investors probably should just ask, how is it even possible for Micron to be trading at such minuscule earnings multiples, sales multiples, earnings growth multiples? And at least part of the answer lies in the fact that Micron's core business, computer and mobile memory, has been commoditized by investors in recent years. For whatever underlying reason, the market's memory giants are simply not treated like other tech stocks. When looking at Micron's key valuation metrics, it actually probably helps to compare the stock to others in the memory business, including Western Digital, Seagate, and Toshiba. Each of these companies has expertise in different areas and are not always directly competing. Some of them have different emphases in NAND or DRAM, and the differences, they reflect themselves in the kind of fundamental layer of each company's business, but they kind of all, if you look at their valuations, reflect that commoditization of the memory business. This peer group has an average forward PE of 7.7. So MU is still trading at a discount to the rest of its peers, but we can see that that gap is significantly smaller than to say the S&P 500 as a whole. Micron is currently sporting a Zacks rank number 2 buy, and that goes back to the positive earnings estimate revision trends that I mentioned earlier. The Zacks rank places a significant emphasis on earnings estimates and positive estimate revisions to find stocks that are more likely to outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 months. But the stock also has an A grade in what is called our style score system. It has an A grade in each of the value, growth, and momentum categories. So while memory might be commoditized, it is rather rare to see a stock with such unique combinations. And if Nomura is right, a lot of the cyclical price trends that we've grown to expect from the memory business might be mute this year, which could leave investors with room to capitalize on those low valuation metrics. So that's obviously a lot to take in. I just threw quite a bit of stuff at everyone. But, with a hot stock like Micron, you really have to take a step back and gain an understanding of the fundamentals of its own individual business, what's causing this crazy rapid growth, and look at the kind of underlying industry trends of the industry that it operates in. So with all of those things in mind, Nomura's price target of $100 is certainly an optimistic call. As I said, it's the most bullish analyst call we've ever seen on Micron. But it's a unique stock with a lot of really attractive qualities, and it'll be interesting to see if Nomura is right. Again, it is a Zacks rank number 2 buy right now. So the Zacks rank in some ways in agreement that there is an upside to this stock. But again, guys, I would love to hear from you. I'm always interested in your feedback, especially on these when we dive into stocks more specifically. Feel free to email me at podcast@zacks.com if you want to add to the conversation about Micron, or if you feel that I missed something, or if you want me to cover a different story in the coming weeks. Also, make sure to check out all of our other audio content at zacks.com/podcasts. And remember to subscribe and leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. As always, thanks for listening to the Zacks Tech Talk Tuesday podcast. We will see you next time.